Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
The one staple of Thanksgiving weekend for sports fans has become the rivalry, the game. In the last 3 years...
Not according to Mad Dog. Oh, my God. We'll go back to that. We'll come back to that. You just ball that back up, Kevin.
Reel that back in. It hasn't been the game for Ohio State the last 3 years. And
for Ohio State, it's still been the game.
Yeah, it's still been the game. And I think this year was more of a example of the game that you would show instead of the ass whoopings that the Buckeyes have taken the previous 2 seasons. And look, I know that that is a good team. That team up north has a really good team and a good program. A lot of these schools now have 5th and 6th year guys with COVID years. Blake Corum's a good player. They finally found a quarterback in J.J. McCarthy. I'm not taking anything away from them. And going into that environment is very difficult to play in. Like, that is what a rivalry is supposed to be. You're supposed to not just feel the crowd, almost in a way fear the crowd. That hasn't affected Ohio State teams in the past because they have made the game the thing that they build towards every single year. A countdown is in the facility to count down to the game.
I don't know if Ryan Day does this, but I know all the past coaches, after practice, they had a small little section of practice that they practice all year round, and that practice was dedicated to Michigan, that part of it.
And they say well, at least Ryan Day says that they do that. But when you have a quarterback saying it's just another game, it's that next game, like what the Browns have been talking about. But we hear Stefanski say that, and the players are saying the same thing, and then they go out there and they've made that game the most important thing. Yes, I know they lost to Denver and they've lost 4 times this year. No, it's very rare you're going to see a team in the NFL win every single game. But they keep that mindset, and that's why they don't let themselves dwell on a loss in the past, and why Kevin Stefanski's record, a game after a loss, is so good in his tenure as the Browns head coach. In Ryan Day's tenure as the Ohio State Buckeyes head coach, he is 1-6 in what is considered big games. The game and college football playoff games. 1-6. And that one came in the first year that he took over from Urban Meyer in the game. So he has not won a college football playoff game. I could argue they should have won last year. There should have at least been a targeting call on Marvin Harrison Jr. in the back of the end zone. Whatever. That's
still
old
lost.
News. Still lost. Lost to Georgia, the eventual national champion. Buckeyes lost the game last year. They lost it at home. They were able to get in with crazy stuff to happen on championship weekend. Jay, are you rooting for that to happen this year? Do they even deserve that kind of opportunity again, that gift again?
I don't know, honestly.
Because
there's a lot of one-loss teams out there.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of teams I think we're just close with. And I could argue probably 4 other teams that deserve that last spot. So I don't want to say we don't, and I don't want to say we do. It's a horrible sports take, but you get my point.
Right. I understand. I
could listen to someone's argument saying they should be still in, and I could also definitely listen to the argument saying that they shouldn't. What I know is I'm not even calling him Ryan Day anymore. He's just Ryan Cooper to me now. And my message to you is don't let the door hit you where the good Lord splits you, dude, because I'm done. You cannot lose to Michigan that just every single time. I'm fine even if you won one, lost one, won one, or lost one, won one. 3 in a row, you got to go. That's strike 3, bro. See ya.
It's what have you done for me lately? We're in that kind of culture now, and you're getting 5-star recruits all over the place. You have to win sometimes. Peter, where are you at with Ryan Day?
I don't know. I'm just, obviously I'm disappointed. The 3 losses to that team up north in a row. it's hard to swallow. But who are they going to replace him with?
I mean, there's Ohio State. They'll get whoever the hell they
the
really
Boosters
want.
will pay for.
Well,
Look at our last 3 hires. I mean, like after Cooper, everyone was like, "Who are you going to get?" We got Tressel. And after you fire Tressel, who are you going to get? We had an intern for a year, and then we went and got Urban Meyer. Like, we're Ohio State with our recruits.
Oh, no, I know. I'm just saying it's...
You get Rabel, maybe. You could possibly just say Heartline, upgrade Heartline to the
Rabel would
offense.
be interesting.
Mhm.
That would be interesting. The thing is, he's done a decent job overall, I think. But the Michigan stuff, I think you're right. It's one of those things where that game is so important to the alumni, to the donors, to the fan base that
I mean, Woody Hayes is just rolling over in his grave right now. Trying to
Well,
you wouldn't have any of that.
Well, I think it was Double A. Anthony Alford posted on Facebook. He's like, "Is this what it was like with the John Cooper era?" And I'm like, "Well, no, we have more losses with the John Cooper era.
We put up with him a long time.
We weren't going into the Michigan game undefeated in most of those years. So
Yeah.
I think all of those years.
Yeah, because he's lost the one year. I think it was Joe Germain, David Boston, and then we were looking so unbelievable, and then we lost to Michigan State out of nowhere.
But the thing is, though, if you look at the team, I mean, I think we really should have won that game. There were, I don't think Kyle McCord is. I don't think either of the quarterbacks really showed.
Devin Brown doesn't look like he can throw a football.
No, he doesn't.
Like, and I know people are saying like, "Oh, well, he got hurt. He never got a chance. He probably didn't get his chance to take over from Kyle McCord and like show his athleticism." Great, he's a running quarterback. I almost flipped out, and I know that they were always going to win and they beat Purdue, but they were bringing Devin Brown in for those goal line situations, just like we bring in Harrison Bryant for 4th and 1s. Now we're fumbling the football, but again, staying on the Buckeyes.
Also,
Devin Brown.
Dumb by.
Right, yes. Devin Brown was that goal-to-go scenario. Well, he was pretty loose with the football down by the goal line and lost one of those fumbles. And I was like, why do we keep going to this? Stop. But I've seen Devin Brown play. And again, maybe more of an opportunity. Maybe we would see more. I don't see how he throws a football. Like, I don't. I can see, like, Kyle McCord is a pocket passer. I can see that. But these are our best options at Ohio State. I mean, you have your wide receiver, and I know Marvin Harrison Jr. is gone, and I'm probably Emeka Ibuka as well. But the next line's coming in. Dale's son is coming in. Not saying he's going to take over as a freshman, but there's going to
take over as freshman.
He
I
can.
just personally root for him.
But there's going to be talent that just keeps coming through, and that's great that Ryan Day can get those. Now, my argument is that he needs to go. I'm not trying to take shots at the guy personally or anything like that. And again, I'm not rooting for someone to lose their job. We've had that conversation on this show before. I'm not banging the table and trying to run him out of town. My opinion is he's got to go. The devil's advocate to me would tell me, well, look what Patience did for that team up north with Jim Harbaugh. They held on to him even through all those losses against Ohio State and Urban Meyer, and now he has taken the reins over as he faces off against Ryan Day. Okay, I can listen to that. If they decide to do that, they decide to do that. The new AD decides to do that, they do that. Other people have said that, well, that team up north is really, really good. Like they're undefeated. They're going back to the college football playoff, another Big Ten championship. That's a really strong blue blood program now that is like, it's hard to beat. You lost to them by 6 on the road. Okay, but it's 3 in a row. That's the problem. It's this game has now made it 3 in a row. If we had gone back and forth the last couple years,
Fine.
Or still kind of in control and they got this one and we lost by 6, and I can see how good this team was, boy, I hate losing to them. I'm not going to admit that I wouldn't be upset, but it wouldn't be lasting as long as it is right now. Because now we have that count up of days, the amount of days it's been since we beat them.
I mean, dude, how do you lose to them last year when you have C.J. Stroud, who's destroying the NFL right now? Who else was on that team? You still had Marvin Harrison. God forbid, Ibuka, all these guys. Yeah. We had all these players, and we lose to them. It's like, dude, why?
Yeah, and again, people are trying to tell me today as I'm having these conversations around the office and all that stuff, but they had more of the talent. They had a better offensive line. They had this. They had the better team.
Oh, they had what? Our left tackle or our right tackle. The dude is NFL guys can't get through him.
Big Thanos. Yeah.
And the other guy was drafted in the first round by the Bears?
I think so, yeah. No.
Whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He was early first round left tackle. So you got 2 NFL tackles.
Yep.
You have Marvin Harrison Jr., who's an absolute monster. You got Ibuka over there. You had Cade Stover. You had running backs out the yin-yang down there. I mean, you're Ohio State. You should have a running back. Yet, we didn't have our defense together last year. That was our excuse.
The people are making this argument to me. They're looking at just this year and that team. Great. I know that they have a really good team this year. I get that.
I don't care.
It's 3 in a row. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Kevin.
And I'm not.
At least you don't have a bunch of relatives that live there and are fans of it.
I mean, I do. I'm not as close with them as you are with yours.
Oh, God. I just go, phone off, into the couch. See you later. I can't deal with these people.
It just, again, yeah, I should be more patient, and I'm not usually this type of person. That's why you know that this feeling is real. I can't stand losing to them that many times in a row, and now I don't have confidence that a Ryan Day coach team can beat them anywhere. And you know why that is? Because you don't have a great quarterback right now, but you also have a lot of players that aren't making it a big deal. It is a big deal. I don't care what Chris Mad Dog Russo says. Red Sox Yankees is not a bigger rivalry. And I know my wife's going to yell at me when I get home for saying that. It might be on the same level for the level of sport that they're at. The Red Sox Yankees rivalry of baseball, that is Ohio State, team up north in college football. Red Sox Yankees is on national television for the 4-game series. It's on 3 different networks. It's everywhere. Of course Mad Dog Russo is going to say that. Do you hear his accent? I don't give a damn about the Red Sox fans and the Yankees fans. They get to pay for crap. They've had World Series in Boston. Yankees get to pay for everything.
What was the other college What was the other football college you said? Like Oklahoma, Texas or something? It was bigger than Ohio State, Michigan. I was like, whoa. Whoa. I can understand even him saying Duke, North Carolina. I'm like, all right, I'll hear that out. But again, they play how many times? Like 3 or 4 times a year?
Twice a year, and most of the time they're facing off against each other in the ACC tournament as well. Whether it's the final or the semifinals, they're finding a way to face off against each other.
In my opinion, makes it even better than the Red Sox Yankees. This is just,
and I'm not saying Ohio State.
Here's what drives me nuts. New York is so huge, so many people, and yet Ohio State, Michigan is still the better rivalry. Because our alumni will trump their citizenship.
I'm not here to put bias out there and say that is the best rivalry in all of sports. I don't know what my rankings would be. When Mad Dog Russo did that on First Take today, he put those rankings out there. Now he's just trolling because he knows that people got the clip. They know that people are talking about him. He knows people like us are talking about him, and he wanted to make more. He wanted to get under your skin more. That's what the good people in the industry do. But the way they go about it, that's why we want to be different. So when I get all worked up like this, I don't do that all the time. I'm not doing this so that people click on us and like us. I care if we get viewership, and I want this show to grow, but I want it to grow the right way because of who we are, who all 3 of us are, and what we have done for this show, not because I'm trying to get some sort of clickbait. So Chris Mad Dog Russo has done what he's done, and he's done it the right way because I'm talking about it. I just want this rivalry that matters a lot to a lot of people around the country, whether you're a fan of that team up north or a fan of Ohio State or a fan of great sports rivalries in general, I want it to matter at Ohio State because what I hear from the coach is not what the players are showing on the field and what I actually see when that game happens. So if he does stick around, it's win or go to the unemployment line next season.
Facts.
That's what that game is going to mean.
Because, I mean, like...
And I don't care how good the defense is for 11 games. You're not making the plays you need to in the game. That's a problem. So none of that is all going to matter. Just like the Cavs that we're going to talk about next. People can't get into the regular season because they lost in the playoffs, gentleman's sweep, and all that's going to matter is how they perform in the playoffs as long as they get there. It's not going to matter to me that much what they do in the regular season up until that game because I know Ohio State can go out there and beat a lot of the teams that are going to be on their schedule. It's going to be tougher with some of the Pac-12 teams now becoming Big Ten schools, but I know Ohio State is going to be in contention for the Big Ten championship again once it comes down to that game. What happens in that game, if Ryan Day is around, will determine his job.
You know what really sucks? That was the last time that game was going to be, like, ultra meaningful, too. Because with the new playoff system next year, even if we, like, they go under that, like,
that's what I'm saying.
It's not really going to matter if one loses.
That's what I'm saying. If Ryan Day is still around next year, it's more about his job than it is anything else because Ohio State's going to is going to have a much better chance to make the playoff with more spots available.